In this video, I explain how I teach the fundamentals of thinking logically. I do it the same way I learned these fundamentals, by learning how to answer why questions. 5 of the 6 questions, who, what, where, when, and how, are what I call database questions. They all have a right answer. You can memorize that right answer. There's no thinking required. Why, though, is very different. Why frequently has no right answer. There's nothing to memorize. Thinking is required. There's actually a set of 5 thinking skills that are needed to answer a why question properly. Let's look at them. Well, the first thing you have to do is collect information. This is what information do I need? Where can I get good information? Is this good information? Is this enough information? And so we'll look at collecting information. Next, you have to analyze the information. Is the information accurate? Is the information correct? Is the information related to, relevant to the question? Often you'll find something and you go, wow, that's an interesting fact. That's going to be useful. But then when you think about it, you realize that no, it's not really related to the question at hand. So you can't use it, and you take it and you put it to one side. Now, before we go next, what have we done? We've collected information and we've analyzed it, thrown away the bad information, the not useful information, and so now you use that information to form an opinion. You can think of forming an opinion as this is the first answer to the why question. But that's not enough. Now you have to build an argument to support the opinion. Now, I could say prove the opinion, but prove is a big word, and that we look at what it means to say, I proved this. Did you prove that? We look at that in another section in the class. For now, let's just use support. So you build an argument. What's an argument? Premise, 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 conclusion. Centi, 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 gelun. Where do you get these premises, these reasons from? You get them from the information that you've collected and analyzed. So now we have an argument that supports the opinion. Are we done? Not quite. Now you need to be able to defend the argument. That means you need to be able to look at the argument from all different ways in order to find its weaknesses, to think about what's the worst thing that someone could say about this argument and how would I answer that. And sometimes when you're doing this, you realize that, hey, you know what, that other way of looking is a better answer than mine. And so now what you do is you change your argument so you've got the best possible argument. So now you've defended your argument. This is how Westerners, in my opinion, learn how to think logically, by answering why questions. Why questions are very, very common in Western culture, and they form the basis of our education from about middle school on. We're not asked who, what, where, when, and why, who, what, where, when, and how. We're asked why things happen. We have to learn to build an argument to prove our answer, to prove our conclusion. Now, of course, I go into other details and you learn more than this, but this is the fundamental. These are the steps that you have to learn how to do and how to follow in order to get a good answer to a why question. You're able to do that. You're now got the fundamentals of thinking logically, and once you've got that, you can build on that. It'll build on itself automatically. In another area, we look at the positive feedback loop that happens once you start to think logically. So that's about it for here. Let's move on.